The latest OTA in Marvel Snap hit Shou-Lao and many of the problem cards in that deck we all know and love so much. Wink, wink. And on paper, a lot of these changes look good, but the real question is whether this is actually going to be enough to knock Shou-Lao off of its pedestal at the top of the metagame. We're diving into the full review now. Hey, what's up everybody? Kicker of Elves here. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you're at. Yesterday, a new OTA balance update dropped. And is this going to be the death of Shou-Lao? There's tons of nerfs to it. Is this going to be the rise of June 2099? Well, let's go through and let's talk about what's really happening here. So first and foremost, they nerfed Shou-Lao, whatever you want to call it. The big red dragon, that's the season pass card. So they adjusted it by taking him down from a 5/8 to a 5/6. This on its own does nothing. Frankly, 5/6 is still a perfectly tolerable body for giving a +12 or +15 boost to a card like Maverick or Scarlet Spider. But I think they are, and this is a reasonable thing, nervous about giving this the Mr. Fantastic First Steps treatment. When Mr. Fantastic First Steps left the season pass, in, what was it, July or August? I forget when he was a season. I think it was August when he left. He was nerfed from a 2/2 to a 3/4 and immediately just fell off the face of the earth. That's not what they want to do here. Clearly, I think they're a little bit gun shy because of that. So they're taking more progressive nerfs and are hitting some of Shou-Lao's supporting cards. My concern is that we'll talk about all these changes here, but if this is not enough, I would prefer they bring back, like, bring cards like Maverick back up and just make this like, you know, a 5/7 that gives +2, or a 5/9 that gives +2, or a 5/8 that gives +3, but it's characters only, versus leaving all the supporting pieces nerfed and then it's still not being enough. That's my concern. But moving Shou-Lao to a 5/6, that is a significant, that's 25% reduction in its power. That is something. We'll have to see how strong it is. I'm still concerned this card is going to be pretty dang good because they have nerfed some of its supporting pieces, but is it going to be enough? We'll wait and see. I think this is better than nuking it from orbit right away. I think it is a fun card in concept. It encourages different play patterns. I think KM best comparison of this kind of deck being like the Invisible Woman's First Steps deck when it first released, in terms of it being a play pattern we're not used to. Like, its ability to back buff full locations is very cool. I like the card in concept, but it's just been too strong. Another major nerf here was to Maverick. Maverick going from a 3/3 to a 3/2. Because of the way Maverick's text works, it's effectively changing it from a 3/6 to a 3/4 at base. I'm a little bit like, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where like they're nerfing the supporting piece instead of just nerfing a very hard thing to Shou-Lao. I don't think, yes, Maverick was strong, but in December, before Shou-Lao, he was kind of fine. This card is literally sitting on the board being like, oh, please, opponent, don't interact with me. Like, it's begging you for Deafening Chord, Cosmic Ghost Rider. There's so many, just like, this card is just sitting there face up and activate, like, just begging to be messed with. If you're trying to do Jocasta stuff with it, it's just like, oh, please, don't play a Juggernaut here, maybe. I think Shou-Lao is what made this card busted. Yeah, it's like helping zombie Galacti, but like Galacti's fine to deal with. Maverick taking kind of a stray for Shou-Lao sins, whereas Merlin's been kind of deserving of a nerf for quite some time. Maverick was so easy to interact with that, I don't know. I hope if this wave of nerfs isn't enough, they consider putting Maverick back to 3/3 and just taking a heavier hand at Shou-Lao. Merlin's Omniversal Presence is now going from, instead of giving a +2 to a +1. Yeah, Merlin's kind of had it coming. I kind of wish they kept him at a 2/3 and just did this to begin with, or like just took the plus power off of Omniversal Presence altogether. This is like Merlin's best skill. It takes down magic decks. He's had this coming for a while. Even if Shou-Lao wasn't as strong as he was, or wasn't even released into the game, Merlin's probably been asking for this for some time now. Deafening Chord. This I think is totally fine. Deafening Chord is losing its -1 power part of its text, so now it's just removing the text of the card. It's not doing any afflict. This was the best tech card in the game, and it kind of wasn't even close. in the Shou-Lao meta. Shou-Lao got to free roll it. What's it called? Zombie Galactic gets to free roll it. Even in those Spell Slinger decks where using Joaquin Torres, sometimes even if you're not getting the ideal target, you're still getting a -2 off of playing Deafening Chord on top of Joaquin Torres. It was way too good. I kind of caught in with KM Best's argument about like maybe Cosmic Ghost Rider should get a point of its power back. I still think Shou-Lao list might want to try and run this. This is still cheap tech. This still does its thing, but you're going to care a lot more about its target. I mean, sometimes you were just playing this to just get the proc, even if there was nothing on the board. I do wonder what this does to like Merlin Werewolf by Knife stuff, which is a deck archetype that I've loved for quite some time, even before Shou-Lao things came in. I mean, Merlin Werewolf by Knife stuff isn't even like the best thing to be doing with Shou-Lao. It's clearly centralized around Scarlet Spider. So yeah, this makes sense. If they're trying to get rid of that Shou-Lao, Scarlet Spider, Maverick sort of package, this is a perfectly sensible card to hit. Spider-Ham, yeah, sure, they should just rework this thing at this point. It was an on-reveal, it's an activate, like they say like, frankly, we don't view Spider-Ham as the most fun card to be strong. It's like, you made, I don't know, like you made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. Like, rework the card. Don't Professor X it where like, Professor X is such a design disaster, in my opinion, because you can just see the facade of the game coming through. Great podcast from Fourth Location this past week. Go check out their channel, website, wonderful place. Cam Best was on. They were talking about card design. Really interesting podcast. Go listen to that after this video if you haven't already. And they're talking about card design where it's like, you don't want to see the facade of the game coming through. I look at Professor X and his entire text is the facade of the game. His entire text says, oh shit, we can't have Cannonball work with this anymore. That's what this text is. Cannonball does not work here. With Spider-Ham, they made this card. This is what this card does. I think they're just going to have to rework it. Colonel America getting +1 power. They say he's been performing or underperforming for a while now, even after Weapon H came back. And yeah, sure, little extra point of power. I think the Colonel America Zombie Power Man package is a cool spin and evolution on that dependable discard. This is my little brother's favorite deck. Is like he doesn't play as much as, or he took like a 2.5 year break and came back. So he's super into this. This is probably a nice buff for the kind of deck he plays. And yeah, sure. This card is really just like, it's a mid-rangey points package that can't afford to run tech. So it probably needs a little bit of a better floor. So yeah, sure. Colonel America. Why not? Doom 2099, this is hilarious. They put him up to a 4/6. When Doom 2099 came out, I forget his exact stat line, but the Doom bots were significantly more powerful. And it was just impressive. It was the best deck in the game for a hot minute. It was very easy to accomplish what it wanted you to do. And they keep buffing Doom 2099 instead of the Doom bots. The Doom bots are what it's trying to do. And I don't know if this does anything. Maybe I'll try out a Doom 2099 ongoing list in like Proving Grounds, but I think it's hilarious how they keep kind of just like poking the numbers. Like, are they gonna make him a 4/7? They cite like ahead of Moondragon's release, we're gonna give him an additional power. But I don't know if Moondragon's gonna be the thing that turns it around. I'll give it a shot. This is a very mobile friendly deck, but I don't know if this is gonna bring it back into the limelight. Lin Lie Iron Fist, he's getting an extra point of power, and the Sword of Fuxi is going to give an extra point of power to him when they're connected. I love this. I really liked Lin Lie on release. I enjoyed it in the Move Many list, but quickly proved to be not inconsistent. I still think that if you are a lover of that deck, he's a good pickup because it offers an alternate way to play that deck. That deck's thesis, in my eyes, not counting the Shou-Lao version that Iris has been running, it wants to win one lane with points and win another with Juggernaut. And the Iron Fist gave another way to like turn 5 Hellion, move a bunch of points into a location, and then steal another with Juggernaut. Lin Lie helped give another way to meet that condition, but the stats weren't that good enough. I guess people are trying to do more like move bouncy copying sort of things, and that's going to be even more intensive. So I love that this has an additional point of power. Might try cooking with this fella again. Last, but maybe not least, Topaz going from a 3/5 to a 2/3. This is kind of compelling. I wonder if this helps with like the old Human Torch move list where like you have this and a Madam Web, like maybe that Human Torch list from October and November, like we cut Cloak and put Topaz in, like Topaz on a right or a left location with Madam Web in the middle. That's an additional engine piece that like you just keep moving. You play a card there, it moves it to Madam Web. You move Madam Web card somewhere else. You're getting 2 free moves off it before you even use like a Spider-Punk's move. I don't know. I'm going to try this out. I love that list, and not just because Human Torch was the best card in the game at the time. That certainly helped, but I love that list because of it was the best list that won a bunch of lanes, won one location with a bunch of points, steal another with Juggernaut. So yeah, pretty cool. All in all, I think this is moving in the right direction. I don't look at this and immediately say Shou-Lao is dead. I just hope that if this isn't enough, that they revisit like bringing a card like Maverick back up and just like really take some power off of Shou-Lao. If they want to keep him +3, maybe make him like a 5/4 or even a 5/3 or something. This is still an incredibly powerful effect. Looking at all of this, the one thing I am very happy about is that they left Scarlet Spider alone. Scarlet Spider never saw any play until Shou-Lao. I think it's great that they nerfed a bunch of pieces and were like, listen, this is clearly not Scarlet Spider's doing. I don't know what data they have that shows Maverick is busted without Shou-Lao. I think they're pretty connected here, but we'll have to see. So if you want more OTA reviews like this when they come out, in-depth deck guides, weekly meta reports, the occasional giveaway, which if you're watching this at the time it released, check my community post if you commented in the previous 3 weeks of videos. It's closed by the time you're seeing this, so don't try to rush back to them. I'm not trying to scam engagement, but check my community post to see if you want a season pass. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Check out the video that's on your screen now if you want another cool piece of Marvel Snap content. Hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,500 subs. Kicker of Elves has all the best Snap content you need to improve your rank and have a good time playing. Once again, I'm Kicker of Elves. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you're at. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.